Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Our company is Boost Payment Solutions. We're a technology-enabled payment company that focuses on the use and acceptance of commercial card products on a global basis. We serve as a bridge between AP and AR, between buyers and suppliers. Historically, the credit card processing business has been split up between two different groups, those that focus on the AP side and those that focus on the AR side. Boost spans the two through our technology. So we serve multiple parties. We help buyers help the way they facilitate their payments. We help suppliers by optimizing the way they receive their payments. We work with commercial card issuing organizations to help them grow their credit card program for their B2B business. And we work with a variety of strategic partners, many intermediaries that serve as consultants or other types of organizations that assist in optimizing payments. So a little information on the company. We're about 13 and a half years old. We support 14 currencies. We work with about 360 commercial card issuers across the globe. We work with over 50% of the Fortune 100 companies that either make payments through our organization or receive them. The largest single payment we've processed on a commercial card product was slightly over $41 million. So when most people think of commercial card products, very often they think of travel and entertainment transactions, whereas commercial B2B transactions can get significantly larger and displace other traditional methods of payment. We were recently recognized with 3 Gold Stevie Awards for our various activities on a global basis, and we have other awards that we are very, very proud of. These are the 47 countries that we operate in. Those in blue, we actually have employees on the ground working those regions, and each quarter we add about another 1 or 2 regions to our footprint. Legacy B2B payments are really fraught with a lot of challenges. Late payments, both the inability to make a payment on time or the pain and suffering of receiving a late payment. Very cumbersome manual processes. Not only for commercial card products, but for many payment modalities, it's a very manual process for the corporate. Fraud losses are extensive. Many payment modalities, we're seeing growing fraud losses like ACH and other account-to-account transactions. Check fraud is growing on a global basis to very significant proportions. The customer experience for the corporate, for the treasury group generally, is typically very poor with many old B2B transactions. So it's really important that we digitize this process and make the customer experience much more seamless and streamlined. Whenever you have a manual process, you're going to have data entry errors. And that's a big problem for both the transaction itself, the payment itself, as well as the reconciliation process, the reporting process. So by converting to a digital payment method, you're avoiding the human effort entirely. And then lastly, the cost of transactions. Non-digital payments, both domestic and global, cross-border, are extremely expensive. And by migrating to digital payments, specifically commercial card transactions that are specifically designed and built for enterprise-level payments, you can reduce your cost of a transaction significantly. So our primary solutions are 4. Boost Intercept. It is a straight-through processing platform, meaning it converts what is now a manual process into an entirely passive experience, commonly referred as STP, straight-through processing. Dynamic Boost. This is a rules-based engine. So if a buyer and a supplier establish certain rules of acceptance, of use and acceptance, Dynamic Boost will enforce those rules on the fly. So it's very important because sometimes there are rules established between buyers and suppliers that are not enforced by the buyer. So a supplier may say, I'll agree to take a commercial card if I get paid within 10 days, right? But that buyer may elect to pay that supplier with a card, but pay them in 12 days or 15 days or 30 days. So it undoes the benefit of card acceptance, whereas Dynamic Boost will enforce that rule, and if a transaction comes in, let's say after that 10-day period, it will not be processed. It'll be kicked back. Our third platform is supplier enablement. So you can have the best card program on the planet, but unless you have suppliers that are boarded and accepting your card transactions, you're not going to benefit from it. So we have a team, a global team, that makes sure we get all of those suppliers that a corporate wishes to pay via commercial card enabled and ready for acceptance. Should have hit that button, sorry. And then lastly, business intelligence, reporting. We focus as much, if not more time on, not on the movement of money per se, but on the data. Making sure that all of the stakeholders, the buyer and the supplier, both receive the reconciliation information in a format that they can easily ingest into their ERP platform. For these large enterprise-level B2B transactions, data is incredibly important. I guess I just accidentally, hang on one second. So to show you the STP transaction, first a supplier submits the invoice to the buyer for payment. Next, the buyer approves the invoice and sends the payment invoice information into the Boost platform. Boost then processes the payment, means we authorize and settle the transaction subject to the best possible pricing available. And we not only work with published interchange rates, but we can also deploy proprietary interchange rates based on the needs of the buyer and the supplier. Once a transaction is processed, the funds are delivered directly into the supplier's depository account, and the data is sent directly to that supplier in a format and delivery protocol that they require, which is really important. This is where the beauty of STP transactions really shine. It eliminates the human requirement. There's no manual data entry for either the transaction or for the posting, the reconciliation in the ERP. It's fully automated. So just to recap what the benefits are of Boost Solutions, it's expanding working capital to the extent the corporate utilizes a credit-based commercial card, they can extend their days payable outstanding, which is really important because unlike other instruments that are used for payment where there's a credit extension, the credit card processing business allows a corporate to essentially borrow money to buy something, to pay a bill. But the supplier pays the cost, pays the interest on that transaction. That's one of the very unique things about commercial card products. The cost of the transaction is not necessarily borne by the buyer. In addition, we eliminate the manual process, as I mentioned. We prevent fraud. All of these transactions are digitized and are not subject to the typical fraudulent activities that are seen in incumbent credit payment modalities. It allows financial institutions to retain and get new customers. By offering this out to your customer base, it provides a unique attribute for the services that you're providing to them. We talked about the reporting. It's actionable data. It's not only the transactional data, but you can also provide your customer with reports and your own in-house treasury organization with reports where you see the real-time activities of your both receiving payments and making payments in a format that you can use as manageable data. And then lastly, the focus is on reducing, minimizing the transaction cost associated with that transaction. So please, first of all, thank you all, and please visit us right over there at booth S15. Thank you very much.